Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something really fundamental in cloud computing, Azure Virtual Machines. Our mission is to sort of demystify VM sizing, images, and availability for you. Show you how these components really empower strong cloud setups.
Absolutely. And, for anyone looking at infrastructure as a service or AS, Azure VMs are pretty much ground zero. Think of them like your own servers, but virtualized, running in Microsoft's data centers all over the world, gives you a ton of control.
Okay, so let's unpack that. At their core, what are Azure VMs? And, why are they so important? They're essentially virtual computers that act just like physical servers. You install an OS, run your apps, but without buying any actual boxes.
Right, no hardware maintenance, none of that. They really came about to solve those classic on-prem problems, didn't they? Like huge upfront costs for servers, waiting weeks for provisioning.
Oh, yeah, the slow provisioning pain,
hmm
and then trying to scale up or down.
Hmm.
Nightmare. VMs give you that agility, resources on demand. Deploy what you need right when you need it.
Exactly. And a big piece of that flexibility is getting the sizing right. It's not just random specs. It's about carefully matching the VM's CPU, its memory, the storage, to what your application actually needs.
Like the different series, D series, E series.
Yeah, precisely. D-series are great all-rounders, general purpose. But if you've got, say, a big database that needs lots of RAM, you'd look at the E-series, they're memory optimized. The real trick, though, is predicting your workload needs so you don't overpay or, worst, under-provision and have performance issues. It's a balancing act.
Okay, makes sense. So you've picked your size. What's next? The image.
Right, the image. Think of it as the VM's starting point. It's brain, basically. It's a pre-configured template. Could be a standard Windows server or Ubuntu, Linux, whatever you need. Azure Marketplace has tons.
Or you can make your own, right? If you have a specific setup.
Absolutely. Custom images are super powerful for consistency. Either way, using an image means no manual OS install. It drastically speeds up getting your VMs running and keeps everything consistent. Click, deploy, done. Almost like cloning.
Okay, cloning your ideal server setup. I like that. Now, availability. This is where things get really interesting, I think. Availability sets, availability zones.
This is key for reliability. So, availability sets group your VMs smartly within one data center. They spread them across different physical hardware racks. Those are fault domains, so one rack failure doesn't kill everything. And they use update domains to stagger maintenance. So Microsoft isn't patching all your VMs at the exact same moment. That gets you 99.95% uptime.
99.95. Okay, but zones, they take it further.
Way further. Availability zones are physically separate data centers within the same Azure region. Separate power, cooling, networking, the whole deal. Spreading your VMs across zones bumps your potential uptime to 99.99%. That's a huge difference for mission-critical apps. It really changes how you think about high availability and disaster recovery.
Right, 99.99%. That's serious uptime. So for someone learning this, how does it apply practically? Like, say you have an old Windows app.
Perfect example. You could take that legacy Windows Server app, maybe create a custom image for it, and deploy it into an availability set. Gives you that basic redundancy inside the DC.
Okay, and for something newer, like a web app backend.
For that, maybe you'd use a Linux VM, size it with plenty of CPU, and deploy it across availability zones. That gives you protection even if one entire data center has an issue. Max availability.
And what about dev test stuff? Does it have to be expensive?
Good point. For non-critical things like dev environments, you could look at Spot VMs. They use Azure's spare capacity at a big discount. Great for cost saving, but you need to know Azure can take them back if they need the capacity, so not for production usually.
Okay, Spot VMs for non-critical workloads. Got it. So lots of power, lots of flexibility here.
Immense power, yeah. It's almost like running your own hardware, but in the cloud.
Yeah.
But, and this is important, that control comes with responsibility. You still need to manage the OS, do the patching, the updates. That's on you, unlike with POWS or serverless, where Microsoft handles more.
Right, the management overhead. Good point. Anything else to watch out for?
Well, just be aware that not all VM sizes are available in all regions, and availability zones aren't in every single region yet either. Check the docs for your specific region. And cost. Seriously, keep an eye on costs. Use tools like Azure Cost Management. Maybe look at reserved instances if you have steady workloads. That can save a lot.
Okay, so track your spending.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So wrapping this up then, Azure VMs are clearly this super flexible, powerful tool. They tackle those old hardware dependency issues, performance problems, downtime risks, still a cornerstone of cloud infrastructure.
Absolutely. They are foundational. But it does lead to, I think, a really important question for you as you design cloud solutions. Given that VMs offer such deep control, almost like managing bare metal, when do you really need that level of control, enough to justify the management effort? Versus, leveraging platform services, pale serverless, where you trade some control for less overhead. That's a key decision for any cloud architect moving forward.